Hey everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm so excited to have you here today because we are going to dive into one of my all-time favorite recipes. This dish will dazzle whether you are an experienced baker or a novice. Today, we're tackling a fun, homemade Crumbl-style cookies. These cookies are inspired by the famous Crumbl cookies that everyone loves, but with a homemade twist. Trust me, once you try these, you'll never want to go back to store-bought cookies again. Get ready for giant bakery-style cookies right from your oven. These cookies are not only huge, but also incredibly delicious. They have that perfect balance of crispy edges and a soft, chewy center that just melts in your mouth. These cookies are fluffy and chewy, and they are full of flavor. Each bite is packed with rich, buttery goodness and just the right amount of sweetness. Plus, you can customize them with your favorite mix-ins like chocolate chips, nuts, or even candy pieces. Before we dive into the baking process, let's make sure we have everything we need. It's always a good idea to gather all your ingredients beforehand. This way, you won't have to stop in the middle of baking to find something. Before we start, gather your ingredients. You'll need flour, sugar, butter, eggs, baking soda, baking powder, vanilla extract, and your choice of mix-ins. Ensure that everything is prepared and measured out. Having everything prepped and ready makes the process much smoother. It also helps ensure that you don't forget any important steps or ingredients. Plus, it makes the whole baking experience more enjoyable and stress-free. We'll walk through each ingredient and its importance. For example, the butter should be at room temperature to ensure it creams properly with the sugar. The eggs should also be at room temperature to help the dough come together smoothly. I'm excited to share my tips and tricks for achieving that perfect Crumbl texture. From the mixing process to the baking time, every step is crucial in getting that ideal cookie consistency. I'll guide you through each step to make sure your cookies turn out perfect every time. Get ready to bake amazing cookies. With these tips and a little bit of practice, you'll be able to make cookies that are just as good, if not better, than the ones from Crumbl. All right, let's get cooking and enjoy ourselves. Stay tuned and let's bake. I am eager to see how well your cookies work out. Don't forget to share your creations with me on social media using the hashtag #BakingWithYourName. Happy baking, everyone. Let's break down the ingredients for our Crumbl copycat cookies. Each ingredient plays a crucial role in the texture and flavor of our final product. First up, we have all-purpose flour, the base of our cookie dough. We'll use baking soda and salt to help the cookies rise and enhance their flavor. Next, we have our sweeteners, granulated sugar and brown sugar. These create that irresistible, chewy texture. Make sure your brown sugar is soft and lump-free for optimal results. Let's talk about creaming butter and sugar, a fundamental technique in baking that can make or break your cookies. This step is essential for achieving that perfect texture we all crave in a cookie. Creaming is crucial for achieving light and airy cookies. It guarantees a soft crumb and a wonderful melt-in-your-mouth texture when done right. We'll use softened unsalted butter for the best results. Softened butter blends more easily with sugar, creating a smooth and consistent mixture. Make sure your butter is at room temperature. It should be soft enough to press with your finger but not melted. Using a stand mixer or an electric hand mixer, you can achieve the perfect creamed mixture. These tools help to incorporate air more efficiently than mixing by hand, which is vital for the texture of your cookies. To make the mixture light and fluffy, cream the softened butter, brown sugar, and granulated sugar together. The combination of granulated and brown sugar adds depth of flavor and a slight chewiness to the cookies. This process incorporates air into the dough, which is key for soft cookies. The air pockets created during creaming expand in the oven, giving your cookies a light and tender texture. Wait a minimum 2 to 3 minutes in order to properly cream the ingredients. Ensuring adequate incorporation of air requires a certain length. Overcreaming will result in dense, hefty cookies. You'll notice it becoming paler in color and increasing in volume. The alteration in appearance indicates that both the sugar and butter have been creamed properly. The mixture should be almost white and very fluffy. This is what we want. A well-creamed mixture is the foundation of great cookies. It sets the stage for the rest of the ingredients to blend seamlessly, ensuring a consistent and delicious final product. So take your time with this step, and you'll be rewarded with cookies that are perfectly light, airy, and utterly irresistible. Once your butter and sugar are creamed to perfection, it's time to add the eggs. Adding eggs one at a time ensures they are fully incorporated, maintaining the mixture's light and airy texture. Next, gradually add your dry ingredients. Sifting the flour helps to aerate it, which further contributes to the lightness of your cookies. Do not overwork the dough, instead mix until just mixed. At last, transfer your dough onto a baking sheet, making sure to equally space the cookies so that they may spread out. Bake according to your recipe's instructions, and soon you'll have a batch of perfectly creamed, delicious cookies. As the cookies bake, you'll see them rise and spread thanks to the air incorporated during the creaming process. This is how creaming works its magic. When the cookies are golden brown, take them from the oven and cool on a wire rack. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, knowing that the perfect creaming technique has led to cookie success. Now let's add in our wet ingredients. We'll use large eggs to bind the dough and add richness. Vanilla extract will provide that classic cookie flavor. Add the eggs into the blended frosting and sugar mixture one at a time, dispatching well after each. Stir down the sides and bottom inside the basin whenever necessary to ensure everything is fully incorporated. Next, stir in the vanilla extract. You can also experiment with other extracts like almond or maple for a fun twist. Dry ingredients, flour power. In another bowl, mix the all-purpose flour, baking soda, and salt. This guarantees that the leavening chemicals are equally distributed. Gradually combine the dry and wet components, stirring on a slow speed until barely blended. Avoid over-mixing the dough, since this can result in tough cookies. Once the dough comes together, stop mixing. We want to avoid developing the gluten in the flour, which can result in chewy rather than soft cookies. Mix-ins, the fun part. Now for everyone's favorite part, adding mix-ins. This is the point where you may be creative and tailor the cookies to your specifications. For classic Crumbl-style cookies, fold in a generous amount of chocolate chips. You can also add chopped nuts, candies, or other baking chips. Get creative with your mix-ins. Try chopped Oreos, peanut butter cups, or even pretzels for a sweet and salty combination. Shaping your giant cookies. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper. Using a large cookie scoop or a quarter-cup measuring cup, scoop out generous portions of dough onto the prepared baking sheet. Allow the cookies to spread during baking by spacing them a few inches apart. You can gently flatten the cookies with the palm of your hand if desired. Pro tip: if you want perfectly round cookies, use a round cookie cutter slightly larger than the cookie dough balls to gently shape them after scooping. Baking to perfection. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. This step is crucial as it ensures that your cookies bake evenly and achieve that perfect texture. A well preheated oven creates the right environment for the dough to spread and rise properly. Make sure to give your oven enough time to reach the desired temperature before placing your cookies inside. This can take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes depending on your oven's efficiency. Bake the cookies for 10 to 12 minutes, or until the edges are golden brown and the centers are just set. The baking time can vary slightly depending on the size of your cookies and the specific characteristics of your oven. It's important to start checking them around the 8-minute mark to ensure they don't overbake. The golden brown edges indicate that the cookies are developing a delightful crispness, while the centers remaining just set ensures a chewy, soft interior. This balance is key to achieving that perfect cookie texture that everyone loves. Keep your eye on the biscuits while they bake, since oven temperatures can fluctuate. Even a slight difference in temperature can affect the final outcome of your cookies. Watching them through the oven door allows you to monitor their progress without letting out the heat by opening the door. This allows you to make any necessary changes in real time. If you notice the edges browning too quickly, it might be a sign that your oven runs hotter than the set temperature. If the edges start to brown too quickly, you can tent the baking sheet loosely with aluminum foil. This technique helps to shield the cookies from direct heat, allowing the centers to catch up without overcooking the edges. Simply place a piece of foil over the baking sheet, ensuring it's not touching the cookies. This method is particularly useful if you're baking multiple batches and notice a consistent issue with uneven browning. Adjusting the foil can help you achieve a more uniform bake across all your cookies. After baking, let the cookies settle on the baking tray for a few minutes before moving them to a metal rack to finish cooling. This initial cooling period on the baking sheet allows the cookies to firm up slightly, making them easier to move without breaking. Transferring them to a wire rack ensures that air circulates around the cookies, preventing them from becoming soggy on the bottom. Cooling completely on the wire rack also helps to set the texture, giving you that perfect balance of a crisp edge and a chewy center. Enjoy your perfectly baked cookies. Cooling and decorating. While the cookies are still warm, you can gently press in additional chocolate chips or other decorations, if desired. This is an excellent way to finish with sweet and visual appeal. Once the cookies have cooled completely, you can drizzle them with melted chocolate, frosting, or a simple glaze. Get creative with your decorations. You can also sprinkle the cookies with powdered sugar, sea salt, or chopped nuts for added flavor and texture. Final Crumbl cookie reveal. And there you have it. Bakery-style Crumbl cookies from the comfort of your own home. The cookies that follow are comfortable to bite into and brimming with flavor. The best part? You can customize them with your favorite mix-ins and decorations. Let me know in the comments below what your dream Crumbl cookie combination would be. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more delicious recipes, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Happy baking!